You gonna learn this game now with my little tutorial, yeah? Smash through all this nonsense. Then we're gonna take control of Sid right here. You wanna come down and waddle into this door on the right. Now, there are two ways that you can do this area. The first one is you can just gun it and you can go for it and you can try and be really good at the game. Or you can fail it 5 times on purpose. Failing it 5 times on purpose takes about 30 seconds or so, but it makes it considerably easy. I'm playing on emulator, so I'm not going to try and do anything fancy, so I'm just going to turn turbo on and just die. So that's going to be 1. Actually, let me show you what he does. So you'll notice that sometimes he does these quick turns like that. You see how quick that was? And then that's a slow turn. There's 2 different types of turns that he'll do. After you failed 5 times, he can't do the quick turns anymore. 3. 4. 5. So now we're going to play properly. Try and get the key. I'll go to turbo, man. Cool. Once he plods over, you're going to have a bunch of dialogue options. It's 3, then 4. Then once he does this, it's option 2. So don't mash. Be careful. Once the party is grouped up, you're going to open up your menu. Now this bit's important. We're going to go into Steiner, and we're going to hit optimize, and then we're going to go straight down to our gloves. You need to do this bit first. It's really important that you do your gloves first. Put thunder gloves on, and then you put the barber on. Now the reason why is because your cross helm has Devil Killer on it, and your diamond gloves have ability up on them. So if you put the barber on first, you no longer have Devil Killer equipped. And by removing access to Devil Killer, because we've not finished learning it yet, it will unequip Devil Killer for us. So if we do it this way, when we go into our menu, you'll notice that Devil Killer is still equipped here. But if I go back in here, I optimize, and then I go barber, thunder gloves. Let me just take turbo off. You'll notice that Devil Killer has become unequipped. So if you do your menu in the wrong order, make sure you put it back on. Once you're doing the abilities, you just go R1 once. Right, alert. Hit this candle on the left. And then hit this orb on the right. And now, I would highly recommend splitting this screen, because it basically turns this screen into 2 20% checks rather than one 30% check. Yeah, I'm going to put all this on YouTube afterwards, my dude. No worries. I'm going to cut it all up and make it nice and easy to view afterwards. So we're going to split by coming down, and then we're going to hold up. Hopefully, we don't get an encounter. Never mind. Welcome to Final Fantasy IX, my dudes. Okay. Drakons are the best thing that we can find, really. Steiner is equipped to just kill these things in one hit. Nice and easy, no problem. So as soon as he gets his ATB, I'm going to Q it on one of them. Knock him out. Then I'm just going to wait. If he goes ahead and does anything bad to Steiner here, don't do it on Vivi. Let me show off some stuff. Okay, cool. So these guys have access to both heat and freeze. The reason why it's a good idea to wait and see what they're doing before you cure abilities is because VV can actually cure both of those with his black magic. If you get heated, you use blizzard magic. If you get frozen, use fire magic, and it cures it. While you're casting these things, I would recommend holding ATB with somebody else so that you don't throw away extra turns as well. If things start to get really badly, there are other solutions to these fights, but as long as you've done your menu and you've got the coral sword on with the thunder gloves, Steiner should be killing these things in one hit. Keep a loose track of what you've killed, because if you kill a lot of stuff here, you need to make sure that you don't put level up on him later, or else you'll get a level 30 Steiner, and you don't want that. So proceeding through, we're going to hit this checkpoint here, followed by the one on the right, and then this one up here. Proceed through. So you can't get any encounters in this screen until all of the torches are lit. Don't worry too much about your movement. It's only after you light the torch at the bottom can you start getting encounters in this section. So once we light this one, I like to try and light it from as far away as possible to make my movement a bit easier to manage. If you are playing on PC, I like to take this. This reduces Valia Pira's damage considerably and makes other people surviving a lot easier. On PSX, we are kitted better to deal with that. You definitely don't want to get it. Also, if you grab it, you get like an extra encounter check or two, which is really bad. I would not recommend getting it at all on PSX. On PC, it can be an option. So hold down right to hit this torch, and then you just want to hold left to get out of here and split the screen again. Down right to go back in, and then you want to try and just hug the inside wall as much as you can. Yeah, it's a pretty high encounter rate room. So this is the worst encounter that you can get here. There are no good ways for us to deal with this. The best thing that we can do is try and get as many flea checks as we can. And there are two ways to do this. So what I'm going to do is switch to Dagger. One thing that she has access to is Scan. Scan is a really slow spell that gives access to shitloads of flea checks. So I'm going to queue that, switch back to Ico, and I'm going to queue Carbuncle as well. And during all of this, I'm just going to hold flea. I'm not going to do anything else. You cannot earn flea checks if you're in a sub-menu, which means if I press X and open a sub-menu, I will stop earning flea checks. But hopefully, we should get these two spells off, and we'll get out. And that is the best way to deal with cats. If there is only one cat, the other answer is that after you've cast Carbuncle on your party, if you use Blizzara All on yourself, you can kill the cat, but only when there's one cat. If there are two cats, the damage gets split too much, and you still can't kill it even after two Blizzara Alls on your own party. It becomes a lot slower. We're going to grab this from up here, feed back through, nice. Around here, up at the stairs, and the touch of the lamp. Proceed up these stairs, hit the lamp on the way up. I think on these screens, if you use analog really carefully, you can avoid an extra check. I don't do that because I'm a filthy D-pad scrub. Again, I'll make sure that Masuto's notes are in descriptions of some of these videos that you can avoid certain checks. Not that one, but I got on this one no matter what. The other encounters to talk about hopefully are Grimlocks, but we're not seeing those either. More double Dracons, so I'm going to hold Flea and try and get out. ATP's not looking great. So Freeze is going to come down. I'm going to wait and see who this targets. It's on Ico, but that's fine. So I'm going to open ATP and close it here to see if this other Dracon's having a turn, which he's not. So I'm going to try and steal it from him. Never mind. Never mind. I have been robbed. So Aiko has now been heated. What I could do is use Blizzara on Aiko to cure her. I think Blizzara would probably just kill Aiko though. So in an encounter like this, I think I'd just leave her and not use her at all. So I'm going to let Steiner go ahead and finish him off. Try and get a flea. Mustard bomb coming down. Steiner should be able to survive if this is on him. So let's see if this sticks. It looks like it did. So I can use Blizzara here on Steiner. Hold ATB with Steiner. Make sure this doesn't just kill him. Oh. And then we can cue the attack. Likewise, same with Freeze. If you get frozen, you can use fire to cure that. So we've killed 2 double Drakons. So I think it's quite a lot of experience, but I don't think it's enough yet. The ones that give you the most experience here are Grimlocks. I may just force an encounter and see if we can get some Grimlocks in a moment. So I can show you how to deal with those as well. So this is the last screen where you can get encounters. So I'm going to force one. I'm going to save state it first though. Wowee. Wowee. Didn't want to give it to me. Maybe you can't actually get Grimlocks in this screen. Okay, I don't think you can actually get Grimlocks in this screen. No, you can't. And let me split it really quick. Alright, I can't bother. So the way that you deal with Grimlocks is that when they have a blue ball on top, they are susceptible to physical. When they have a red ball on top, they are susceptible to magic. There are 2 ways to deal with Grimlocks in this route. It's up to you which one you want to pick. One of them is faster if you get better RNG. The other one is more consistent, but can be scuppered if you get bad RNG. Steiner can one-hit them when they have the blue ball on top. When they have the red ball on top, if it is only 1 remaining, again, Carbuncle on your party to cast Reflect, and then VV Blizzara your own party will kill them. As long as you do the Blizzara on your entire party and reflect it off your party, you will also instantly kill a red-topped Grimlock. What you can do is swing. They always start 1 red, 1 blue. You can always swing on the blue one, sorry, and then wait for it to change over. Usually their attacks aren't very long. I think the only thing they cast is slow. So I think they only have 3 abilities, which is either change from magic to physical, hit you with something called the drop, which is a physical attack, which doesn't deal that much damage, or they'll cast slow or stop on you. Remedies will cure stop, and they shift over more often than most other abilities, so you can wait for them to shift, or you can just like take your losses, kill one of them with Steiner, reflect your party, try and get some flea checks during it, and if you don't get the flea check, just cast Blizzara and kill it. But they are worth the most experience, so you need to pay most attention to those. Smile. Grimlocks. They are the worst. They are one of the worst. They're alright. Encounters in this place, no matter what, are bad because you don't have access to flee. Fortunately, Drakons, the weird mind flayer things, are fairly easy to deal with. But another thing where you want to be careful with the Drakons as well is they can use confusion. So Mind Blast, I believe, confuses you. If you get confused, you want to use Aiko to melee them so that they get snapped out of their confusion. Okay, so now, when you enter this screen, completely safe, no more encounters, you want to go to your equipment. We're going to optimize Dagger. 9 times out of 10, it will optimize the rebirth onto her. Make sure it does. If it doesn't, you'll need to make sure that you equip it manually. Sometimes it will put the power belt on. Again, in Petro's notes, there is a set of conditions which you can abide by to know for a fact whether or not it's going to put a power belt or a rebirth ring on her for you. If you want to pay attention to that and you want to try and learn it, you can. I can't be bothered personally. I just have a little look. You need to do her wrist anyway. Make sure you give her the leather wrist so that you, more importantly, you take the N-Kite armlet off of her. The reason why we're optimizing her primarily is to get the mantra band out of our inventory. We don't want that getting optimized onto people later. it puts an adamant vest on her, which gives her fire resistance. So if she is targeted with Firaga, she won't die. And also, obviously, to put the rebirth ring on her out of the way. Then we're going to shift over to Vivi, give him the Enkai armlet so that he can cast water. This is really important. He needs to be able to use water in the next fight. And then finally, we're going to optimize Steiner, go to his accessory, and Aquamarine should always be in the first slot. Go to abilities, HP 10, R1 twice, down 1, ability. Then we're going to scroll over to Dagger and put auto life on her. If you need it, heal everyone up. If you've not taken any damage, don't worry about it. But you want to make sure that you're healing up if anyone's taken any considerable damage. So really quickly, where Sheriff Falk's notes differ from Petro is that Sheriff Falk puts a chainmail on Steiner here. They buy an extra chainmail and put it on here so that he can learn HP 10 because Steiner is wearing a power belt during this encounter. We get HP 10 from the Aquamarine. Sheriff Falk gets it from the shield armor, from the chainmail. I didn't need to do that when I ran the route. The reason why I don't like that in his notes is because the shield armor gives you resistances to all of the fucking things that you're about to get hit by. And if you don't have those resistances, you just die. And losing Steiner in that encounter is really bad because you need him to deal damage. So, fuck that. Fuck that. I leave shield armor on and I get HP 10 elsewhere, I think. It's up to you how you want to do it, but that's one of the differences between the routes when I was running it. Yeah. Easy peasy. So I'm going to do a little save state before we get into the battle. There's about 30 seconds or so in the intro. It's pretty long. You need to make sure that Carbuncle affects everyone in this encounter. So the easiest thing you can do is let him have his turn, see what happens. Vivi and Aiko will die to pretty much no matter what he casts. I think Aiko survives through Firaga because she's also wearing an adamant vest, but the other abilities will kill him. So when we get to Aiko, I'm going to grab it, check to see if he's doing anything. Not, so I can safely cast Carbuncle. When it starts casting, I'm going to go on to Vivi, click it 6 R1s to get to water all on my party. And then just let ATB flow for this bit to make sure that he gets his turn queued in time. And then once somebody starts having their turn, so it's going to be him, I'm going to hold ATB because I don't want... Your reflect only runs out while ATB is flowing. Notice right now, obviously, Aiko's ATB isn't moving. So ATB isn't flowing, which means that the reflect isn't running out. I want Valia Pira to have his turn straight away. So Valia Pira, I believe, is a little bit faster than Aiko. So in this scenario, I'm going to let ATB flow until Aiko has her turn, and then I'm going to proceed to hold ATB again. So about here. And then once Vivi comes back and his ATB resets, I'm going to let ATB flow again so that Vivi can get his turn back. And I'm going to quickly switch back down to him. Water all my party, wait for him to have his turn, and hold ATB. Easy. You must be careful that when you're casting Carbuncle at the beginning, that Vivi isn't going to die after you've cast it. If you do that, you need to pick him back up and cast Carbuncle again. I don't actually know if it refreshes the buff on the rest of your party, so be careful. Just don't let it happen. Just don't get into that scenario in the first place. Just be careful and make sure that when you're casting Carbuncle, nobody is being queued to die. Obviously, if you don't have the rebirth ring, Dagger will die if she gets targeted by anything other than Firaga. I would use Steiner to resurrect anyone. Using Dagger to pick up characters like Aiko and Vivi is a bad idea because she can fail to concentrate. 50% of the time, she will just do nothing. Obviously, really bad. So be prepared for that as well. Cool. Easy fight. Easy, easy, easy fight.